mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. This is part 2 video of the Spiderman Homecoming review that I made. So we had the first review of this Homecoming Spider-Man action figure, which was released a few years back. This is the newly released Vulture action figure from the Homecoming movie. So we have the Vulture figure out of packaging, and it's a really massive figure just by the look of it and the feel of it. Even if I still haven't really taken it out of packaging, I'm really excited and hyped up by this figure because I really don't need to go on a massive really not a massive but an extensive toy hunt like I did before, and I just came up with the Spider-Man action figure and I gave up. But with this, I already have a fully built or complete, not fully built but a complete Vulture figure to play with. It also comes with an assembly base, and by the looks of it, I think this still requires a little bit of assembly. So let's take him fully out of packaging and enjoy this action figure. Okay, so I was right when I said earlier that this Vulture action figure requires some sort of assembly. Okay, because I'm really excited, let's put Spider-Man on the side. So okay, so on with the review. So on the first tray, the main tray, it's going to contain the action figure, the Vulture action figure, with all the associated accessories that you attach to the figure. For example, the Forearm Guards, or the left and the right. We have the visor, the transparent visor, and some sort of punching equipment that is handheld by the action figure. Now that's going to be the first tray or the main tray. Now on the back of the figure, there's going to be two more trays attached to it. So just check your purchases for all complete components. One, it's going to contain some sort of flight stand. Of course, if it's going to be a really lengthy wingspan, so it's going to be it's a figure that's going to be top heavy. Some support or equipment like this is needed to hold that figure up or hold that figure steady on its back. So it's going to contain a back stand. And the second tray, the engine part or the flight part or the wing pack, the flight pack is already pre-assembled. So the left and the right engines, or the flight components, the thrusters, whatever, the propellers, are already attached to the main backpack. So all you have to do is just take this thing out of its secure packaging and attach it to the rest of the wingtips, which is the main component of the third transparent packaging material that we have over here. So the last pieces would be the left and right wings. So just check your action figure, the trays for complete accessories. So expect to have this, and of course this. Let's see if I do it right. Yeah, I guess it's going to be this way. Okay, so these two things and these last two things. Okay, so let's finally take out all components and assemble this Vulture action figure. Okay, now to shorten this wing assembly, all you have to do is collapse this wing part this way, And let's collapse the other wing part that way. And you could either fold forwards or backwards, and just depends on the stability of this display piece. And if, of course, if your display case has a backing to it, then you could possibly do this thing by collapsing it further by folding the wings backwards, but it's going to topple backwards. Now if you're going to fold it forward, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to topple forward. So if you don't have a review or a display stand that does not have a backing to it, then this is your folding option or display option for that wing. And you could just possibly put the action figure. We'll not just bring the action figure, because the action figure we're going to review it separately, because just like fine wine and cheese, we're going to savor this action figure separately. Okay, so just a sample, because this Homecoming Spider-Man is associated with the Vulture figure, so why not place it there? Okay, just for reference point, I mean. Okay, so possible review display option for your Vulture figure. I think it's going to be this way. If you have a massive collection of action figures left and right, top and bottom, then this is the foldability or the displayability, and the wing length is going to be collapsed at 9, almost something like 9.5 inches long, and a height of about 8 to 9 inches. So included is the height of the base. Of course, you're going to show this wing to that display base, so you also need that few inches of the base to have this wing on your display. Okay, this wing, like just the Falcon, the Captain America Falcon action figure, is a really detailed wing, but just like it's also kind of made of flimsy material. So sometimes if you hold this wing in a certain way, pieces would fall off from it, especially on the attachment points. So as you could see, there are really fine details or how this wing could possibly move according to the command of the Vulture. And when you do fully extend it, just be careful when you move the joints, because sometimes they are just way too fragile and this would pop out. Because in this copy that I have, this would always detach and that would always detach. So for points of joint connections, it's going to be first joint connection over here for this wing. Second joint connection would be over here for the last part of the wing. Now, that's going to be the same on the other side. So let's fully collapse this wing. Oh, not collapse, but expand, I mean. Okay, so you could see the wing assembly. So this part over here and that part, just watch out for the copies that you have, that they would stay on the full assembly. Sometimes that's it, they just have the tendency to pop off. So in my copy, it's going to be this part and that part, that always when I try to move this thing, fold it back and forth, it would always detach. but for the this part over here, it's nicely secure, so not a point of something that you have to watch for. It's okay, but just watch the main attachment points. I guess that is where all these the plastic weight of the plastic rests, so that's why it would always detach, especially over here, because this part would hold the rest of the weight of the wing. Okay, so for details, that is the available detail that you have on this engine. So actually this wing is an engine, it's a flight engine, so really nicely detailed. So it's a good idea to display this piece separate for your Vulture action figure if you wish to. Okay, let's move to the back part. Now that is a really massive wing. So it's tricolor for the engine. For the propellers, it's light blue. For some parts of the wing, it's going to be olive green, and the rest would be matte black. So this part is also a separate moving thing, the engine part. And the propellers, you could do that for vertical lift or takeoff, or if you want the Vulture figure to be suspended in mid-air or in hover mode. So really massive wing, just like the Falcon Captain America. But with regards to detail, it is a nicely detailed piece. Okay, so let's get on with reviewing the action figure. So we have the Vulture action figure out of packaging, just the Vulture action figure. So let's concentrate just on the accessory-less action figure of this toy set. I would call this a toy set because the flight pack, I consider that as a vehicle, and that is separate from the figure. Okay, so with regards to articulation, let's deal with the articulation points first. The head is on a ball. We have an ab crunch. We have a waist twist, or we also have bicep twist over here. We have your standard Marvel Legends articulation of a circular movement for the arms. We have 2 points of articulation for the elbows. Yep, it is not pinless. So for the hands, we have rotation for the hands, and there is also a hinge that is on the face or the palm of the hand. Okay, for the leg area, we have a cut for circular movement or twist for the thighs. We have 2 points of articulation for the knee, and that is a pinless knee joint. Okay, as for the foot, we have Optimus Prime boots, so chicken feet or Vulture feet, if you call it. And we don't have any boot twist, only a rocker and a hinge for the foot. Okay, so I just hope if this figure has this really lengthy boot piece, that it's going to let this figure stand with all the weight of that wing. So we're going to discover that later. Now, I really like the head sculpt of this action figure, even if we still haven't attached the flight visor to that helmet. As you could see, that is a really vulture-like appearance, especially the fur on the bomber's jacket and the look of that piercing look of the night vision apparatus on the helmet, and this something like this appears like the beak of a vulture, but of course it is not protruded to make it look like it's it's a beak actually. So when you take a look at it from a side, it's a regular shaped flight helmet or pilot's helmet, a fighter pilot's helmet. But when you look at the front, it gives that semblance that this helmet has some kind of beak on. Now we have a hose on this right side of the helmet. I guess that is for a breathing apparatus, where the oxygen tank of the vulture character would be either attached to the wing apparatus, or he could possibly have some kind of breather inside this bomber's jacket for oxygen. Okay, so let's attach all the accessories to this figure. The first accessory that we attach to the helmet piece would be that visor. My only gripe with regards to of course I really want that visor on. I was excited, but once you get that visor on, it really dampens the bird-like appearance of the head sculpt or the helmet. As you could see, the night vision optics of the helmet or the device for night vision is dampened by the goggles that you attach to the helmet. So I guess the only solution, if we want those eyes, those green eyes to really pop out from that really darkened visor, we just have to really paint it neon green to have those night vision optics stand out of this visor. To attach the forearm guards, which are actually the flight controls for that really massive wing, first what you have to do first is to pop off the hands, the gloved hands of this figure, and just insert it to this to the sleeve of the bomber's jacket. As you could see, the end of the sleeve, and there's the hole, and we have a retention piece over here, so it just slides nicely. And I thought that this piece is going to hinder articulation on the elbow area, but it really doesn't. So you just attach it this way, and then let it sit flush to the arm of the figure, and put the hand back. Snap the hand back, okay. So once you snap the hand back, that is the last piece that you're going to attach would be the left and right flight control sticks. So there we have for the right, and we're going to attach the left. So just spread those fingers apart to accommodate these contraptions or accessories. And we finally have the vulture figure assembled and ready for the main flight pack. Okay, so finally we have a complete Vulture figure, the $41 or $50 that you spent on this character. Okay, so just as I expected, that chicken feet or Vulture feet or Optimus Prime feet holds all the weight of this backpack or this flight pack. So my only advice is have the display in this configuration. Don't try to move or fold the backpack farther backwards, because you're going to shift the weight of the wings to the back and the figure is going to topple backwards. So if you want it fully displayed in all its glory like this is the configuration that you just have to follow. Because I tried before filming this last segment of this review video, I tried to find the balance of this figure without a support stand of any sort that you could possibly place on the foot. And as you could see, if you just wiggle this base, it's going to really fall. So it's a just like if you have the Falcon Captain America, expect that you have to find the balance of the figure to make it stand on your display. But this is a really massive figure, requires a lot of display space. But if you're a Spider-Man Homecoming fan, the fan of that movie, then you could finally display Spider-Man with the Vulture. I guess this is not actually the proper display, because when he fought the Vulture in the last scene, he did not wear the techno suit that Tony Stark gave him. It was just his regular Spider-Man suit which he made. So I guess you would, if you want to you're a completist and you want to have that movie-like experience, this is not the action figure to match with this Vulture action figure. But well, it's my display, so I could really do with what pleases me, I mean. So I have this Spider-Man in my collection. This is the Spider-Man that I like, and this is the Vulture that I've been waiting for. Okay, so this ends the review of this Vulture, this 2021 Vulture action figure. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next video.